The coat smells like bergamot and danger. Naomi pulls the black cashmere tighter around her shoulders as the train platform empties, trying to hold onto the warmth a stranger pressed into her hands 30 minutes ago. The Seoul station is closing. Security's making final rounds. She has no phone. Her stepmother took it. No money. Her father emptied her account before abandoning her here. No luggage. Just the summer dress she's wearing in November cold. She's 27 years old, and her family left her at a train station like garbage. Mississippi. The security guard's Korean is impatient. Station closed. You go. I'm waiting for someone. She lies in broken Korean. He doesn't believe her. Why would he? She's been sitting on this bench for 3 hours, shivering despite the coat. Try to figure out what happens next. 8 hours earlier, Naomi's hands shake as she signs the paper her stepmother slides across the cafe table. It's just a formality, Sandra says, her smile sharp. Your father's business debt. Since you're listed as a co-signer on the original loan, I never co-signed anything. Well, the documents say otherwise. Sign this transfer agreement, and we'll sort everything out. Naomi reads the Korean carefully. She's been in Seoul for 2 years, working as a sous chef at a hotel restaurant, learning the language through kitchen immersion and night classes. The document isn't about debt transfer. It's about property seizure. Her apartment. Her savings. Everything. This isn't what you said. Sign it, Naomi. Her father's voice is tired, defeated. He won't meet her eyes. You owe us. We raised you. You left me with my grandmother for 12 years while you started a new family. Sandra's expression hardens. That grandmother who just died and left you money? That's community property. Family money. You're being selfish. Naomi's grandmother, her mother's mother, passed 3 months ago in Atlanta. The small inheritance was supposed to be Naomi's emergency fund, her ticket to culinary school someday. But her father's new business in Korea failed spectacularly, and suddenly her modest savings became the solution to someone else's problems. I'm not signing. Her father stands abruptly. Then you're not our problem anymore. Sandra, let's go. Wait, what? But they're already walking out. Sandra tosses back over her shoulder. Your apartment lease is in my name, remember? We already cleaned it out. Your things are in storage. You can have them when you cooperate. Your father's phone plan is canceled. You're on your own. Naomi sits in the cafe for an hour, paralyzed. Then she goes to her apartment building. The locks are changed. The storage unit address Sandra mentioned doesn't exist. She walks to the nearest train station, planning to sit somewhere warm while she figures out her next move. That's where the security guard finds her at closing. That's where she realizes she's completely alone in a foreign country. That's where he appears. Now you're still here. The voice is deep, Korean accented, familiar. Naomi looks up. The man from earlier, the one who draped his coat over her shoulders without asking, who said something to the security guard that made him back off, is standing 5 feet away. He's tall, lean, wearing a black suit that probably costs more than her monthly salary. Sharp cheekbones, dark eyes that miss nothing, an expression of carefully controlled concern. I'm leaving, Naomi says, standing. She tries to take off the coat. Thank you for this, but where will you go? The question is so direct it stops her. That's not your concern. You've been crying. You have no back. You're wearing summer clothes in November. You keep checking a phone that isn't there. His eyes narrow. Someone hurt you. Someone left me. The words escape before she can stop them. My family. They took everything and left me here. She expects judgment, pity. Instead, his expression goes absolutely cold. Your family did this. Something in his voice makes her nervous. It's complicated. I'll figure it out. I just need this one night. Come with me. I don't even know you. My name is Han Jae-sung. I own several restaurants in Seoul. You're a chef. I can smell the kitchen on you, garlic and sesame oil. You need work, a place to stay. I can provide both. In exchange for what? Cooking. He says it simply. My personal chef quit last week. I'll pay you fairly, provide accommodation, no strings. Where you can freeze on this platform and hope tomorrow is kinder. Every instinct says this is dangerous. Strange men don't rescue women from train stations without wanting something. But Naomi's been practical her whole life, and practicality got her abandoned in a foreign country. Why do you care? She whispers. Something flickers across his perfect features. Pain, quickly hidden. Because I know what it's like when family treats you like you're disposable. He holds out his hand. One night. Decent meal, warm bed, no expectations. Tomorrow you decide what's next. Naomi looks at his hand, at the empty station behind her, at the choice between pride and survival. She takes his hand. His fingers are warm, steady. He doesn't let go as he leads her to a black Mercedes waiting in the pickup zone. She doesn't know she's getting into a car with the most dangerous man in Seoul. She doesn't know he's been watching her for 6 months. The penthouse apartment looks like it belongs in a magazine. Floor-to-ceiling windows showcase Seoul's glittering skyline. The kitchen is a chef's dream. Marble counters, professional-grade appliances, knife collection that probably costs more than a car. Everything is sleek, expensive, and somehow cold despite the luxury. Your room. Jae-sung opens a door off the main hallway. The bedroom inside is larger than her entire former apartment, with an attached bathroom and a closet already stocked with clothes in her size. Naomi freezes. How? I had my assistant purchase basics. She's good at estimating sizes. His tone is matter-of-fact. Shower, rest. I'll order food. He's gone before she can question further. The shower is scalding and perfect. Naomi stands under the spray until her skin turns pink, until some of the cold fear in her chest starts to thaw. The clothes fit perfectly, soft joggers, a cashmere sweater that feels like heaven. When she emerges, she smells food. Jae-sung's in the kitchen, unpacking containers from a restaurant delivery. Not cooking himself, arranging. The table is set simply, 2 places. You said you own restaurants, Naomi says. Which ones? Sit. Eat first. Questions after. The food is incredible. Jjigae, banchan, perfectly grilled mackerel. Naomi hasn't eaten since yesterday. She tries to pace herself and fails, practically inhaling the meal. When she looks up, Jae-sung is watching her with an expression she can't read. Better, he asks. Thank you. She sets down her chopsticks. Now tell me the truth. What do you really want? He leans back in his chair, studying her. Direct. I appreciate that. The truth? I want you to cook for me. I travel frequently, keep irregular hours, eat poorly. I need someone who can prepare proper meals, keep the kitchen stocked, occasionally handle dinner when I have guests. That's it. That's it. People don't just rescue strangers. I'm not most people. He stands, begins clearing dishes. You'll cook, live here, receive proper salary. Standard employment contract. You're free to leave whenever you want. What kind of restaurants do you own? He's quiet for a long moment. Then, import-export business, primarily. The restaurants are secondary investments. That's code for something. His lip quirks, almost a smile. You're observant. Yes. My primary business operates in gray areas. But my home is separate from that world. You'll be safe here. Are you Mafia? That's a Western term. In Korea, we call it something different. But essentially, yes. I run one of Seoul's organized networks. He meets her eyes. Does that frighten you? It should. But Naomi thinks of her stepmother's calculated cruelty, her father's cowardice. Sometimes the criminals are the ones who wear respectable faces. Will you hurt me? She asks quietly. Never. The word is absolute. Anyone who harms someone under my protection answers to me. That includes you, as my employee. Why me? You could hire any chef in Seoul. Because 6 months ago, I ate at your hotel restaurant. You made a simple bibimbap that tasted like home, like someone cared about the food, not just the presentation. I asked about the chef. They said you were American, working your way up. I've been back 14 times since. You cook with heart. Naomi's breath catches. She remembers the quiet man who came monthly, always alone, always ordered the staff meal specials, left generous tips. That was you. That was me. So you knew who I was. At the station, I have people who keep me informed about interests. He looks almost uncomfortable. I knew about your family situation, your father's business collapse. When I saw you at the station tonight, I'd just learned they'd abandoned you. I was coming to offer help. That's stalking. That's protection. Is a difference. Is there? His jaw tightens. I won't apologize for ensuring you're safe. Seoul can be dangerous for foreign women alone. You worked late shifts, walked home through dark streets. I had security follow you. Quietly. You never knew. It should be creepy. Instead, Naomi feels something unexpected. Seen. For 6 months, someone paid attention. Someone cared if she made it home safely. What do you get out of this? She whispers. Really? Jae-sung is quiet. Then, someone to cook for. That's rare in my world. Someone who'd make me food without fear, without ulterior motive. You don't know me well enough to be afraid yet. Yet. Most people who learn what I am keep their distance. It's safer that way. His expression is carefully neutral, but she catches something underneath. Loneliness. Naomi thinks of her empty apartment, her stolen savings, her father's retreating back. She thinks of this dangerous man who gave her his coat, who's offering her a life raft without demanding anything in return. Okay, she says. I'll cook for you. 3-month trial. Fair salary, separate quarters, professional boundaries. If either of us wants out, 2 weeks' notice. He nods slowly. Agreed. They shake hands, formal, brief. But his fingers are warm, and he holds on just a second longer than necessary. Get some rest, he says softly. Tomorrow, we'll retrieve your things from wherever your family hid them. And Naomi? Anyone who treats you as disposable will learn they made a grave mistake. The promise in his voice should scare her. Instead, for the first time in 24 hours, she feels safe. That night, Naomi lies in the unfamiliar bed and wonders what she's agreed to. Employment with a gangster. Living with a man who's been watching her for months. It's insane. But her family's cruelty was insane too. At least Jae-sung's honest about his darkness. She falls asleep wearing his coat, breathing in bergamot and the strange comfort of being claimed by someone dangerous enough to protect her. 3 months becomes 6. Naomi learns Jae-sung's rhythms. He leaves before dawn, returns late, always pauses in the kitchen doorway to watch her cook. She learns he hates cilantro, loves ginger, eats like someone who forgot food could be pleasure. She makes him stews that remind him of childhood, bread that fills the apartment with warmth, desserts he pretends not to want but always finishes. He learns her silences, the way she goes quiet on Sundays, family dinner date back home, how she flinches when people raise their voices. He brings her Korean cookbooks, signs her up for advanced language classes, never mentions the nights he hears her crying in her room. They don't talk about how his hand lingers when she passes him coffee, how she makes extra portions so he won't skip meals, how something unnamed is blooming in the careful space between employer and employee. Then her stepmother calls. Naomi. Thank God. I've been so worried. Naomi's blood goes cold. You stole from me and abandoned me. That's not. We were upset. Family argument. Your father feels terrible. We're in Busan now, but we want to make things right. Can you wire us $50,000? Just to get back on our feet, and we'll pay you back everything. No. Naomi, please. We're family. Family doesn't leave people at train stations. Her hand shakes. Don't call again. She hangs up, locks the number. But the damage is done, the wound reopened. Jae-sung finds her on the balcony an hour later, staring at Seoul's lights. Your family, he asks quietly. They want money. After everything, they want more. He's silent for a moment. Then, what do you want? I want them to feel what they made me feel. Abandoned. Powerless. Scared. She laughs bitterly. But I can't do anything. They took everything, and I can't even prove it. I can't. Something in his voice makes her turn. Jae-sung's expression is dangerous. I've had investigators tracking your family since the night you came here. Your stepmother forged her signature on multiple documents. Your father committed fraud. They have your belongings in a storage unit in Incheon. They're planning to sell everything next week. How did you? Because you matter to me. The confession is quiet, devastating. Because watching you rebuild yourself these past months, seeing you laugh again, cook with joy again, I won't let them take that from you. Say the word, and I'll destroy them, legally or otherwise. Naomi's heart pounds. I don't want you to break laws for me. I break laws for a living. This would be personal satisfaction. Jae-sung, where we do it the right way. Press charges. Recover your property. Make sure they can't hurt you again. He steps closer. Your choice. But you're not powerless anymore. You have me. The words settle between them, heavy with meaning. Why? Naomi whispers. Why do you care this much? Because I was you. His voice roughens. 10 years ago, my family decided I was expendable. Kicked me out with nothing because I wouldn't follow their plans. I built everything from zero, and I swore I'd never let anyone make me feel that worthless again. When I saw you at that station, he stops, breathes. You deserve someone who'd stay. I wanted to be that person. You've been that person. Every day. It's more than employment now. His eyes search hers. You know that, right? This stopped being a job the first time you left me dinner with a note that said, Eat this, or I'll be annoyed. The first time you laughed at one of my terrible jokes. The first time I came home and felt like I had a home. Naomi's throat tightens. I'm scared. Of needing someone again. Of trusting wrong. I'm scared too. He cups her face gently. I'm scared of how much I want this. How much I want you. But I'm more scared of staying silent and losing you anyway. What if my family comes back? What if this gets messy? Then it gets messy. We handle it together. You really had investigators? For 6 months. I know where every penny went. I know which laws they broke. I know how to fix this if you want me to. Naomi thinks of her father's cowardice, her stepmother's cruelty, the cold platform where they left her. Then she thinks of warm kitchens and quiet mornings and a dangerous man who's been keeping her safe since before she knew she needed saving. Fix it, she says. Let's get my life back. He kisses her, soft, reverent, like she's precious. The legal battle takes 3 months. Jason's lawyers are ruthless, his evidence bulletproof. Naomi's belongings are recovered from storage. Her stepmother and father are charged with fraud and theft. They accept a plea deal that includes full restitution and a restraining order. Naomi doesn't feel triumph, just closure. The day the settlement clears, she stands in Jason's kitchen, their kitchen now, and makes her grandmother's peach cobbler from memory. When he comes home, she's waiting. It's done, she says. Everything's back. My savings, my documents, even the jewelry I thought was gone. Your lawyers are terrifying. They're thorough. He sets down his briefcase, studies her face. How do you feel? Free. She takes his hand. And grateful. You gave me everything when I had nothing. Time to rebuild. Safety to heal. And somewhere along the way, you gave me something I thought I'd lost. What's that? The ability to trust someone completely. His breath catches. Naomi, I love you. The words are easy, true. I love that you waited for me to be ready. That you never pushed. That you let me find my strength again before asking me to share it with you. I love you too. He pulls her close. I have since that first bibimbap. Since the moment I realized food could taste like someone was saying you matter. You cooked like I was worth caring about. You are worth it. So are you. And I'll spend every day proving it. They marry quietly 6 months later. No family drama. Just Jason's brother as witness and a small ceremony at a traditional hanok. Naomi wears her grandmother's pearls, recovered from storage. Jason wears a smile that transforms his usually serious face into something beautiful. My wife, he says wonderingly as they cut the cake. Chocolate with raspberry filling, his favorite. That sounds impossible. You're literally a crime boss. Nothing's impossible for you. You're the impossible thing. The miracle I didn't plan for. 2 years later, they're still impossible together. Naomi opens her own restaurant, small, intimate, focused on fusion cuisine that bridges her Atlanta roots and Korean present. Jae-sung handles the business side, keeps her safe from his world's darkness, and comes home every night to whatever experimental dish she's testing. On their anniversary, he gives her a small box. Inside is a key. To what? She asks. Storage unit in Atlanta. Your grandmother's house. Your father sold it, but I bought it back. Furnished it exactly as she left it. Thought you might want somewhere to visit. Remember her. Heal those Atlanta roots. Naomi's eyes blur. You bought my grandmother's house. You said it was home. Everyone deserves one place that feels like home. She kisses him, tears streaming. You're my home. Everything else is just geography. Good answer. He grins. Because I'm not letting you go 3,000 miles without me. They visit Atlanta together that summer. Walk through her grandmother's house, now preserved perfectly. Naomi cries in every room, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming gift of having her history returned. She'd have liked you, Naomi says, leaning against Jae-sung in her grandmother's kitchen. She always said I'd know the right person because they'd show up when I needed them most. She was wise. She used to say, baby, family isn't about blood. It's about who stays when staying is hard. She was very wise. He kisses her temple. You stayed with me even when you learned how dangerous my world is. That's the bravest thing I've ever seen. You gave me your coat when I had nothing. That's the kindest thing I've ever known. They stand in the kitchen where Naomi learned to cook, in the house that raised her, and she feels the circle complete. The family that abandoned her is gone from her life. The man who found her has become her home. 3 years after the train station, Naomi sometimes forgets the cold, the fear, the moment she thought she'd lost everything. Then she'll catch sight of Jae-sung's coat, the black cashmere. 1. Hanging in their closet, smelling faintly of bergamot, and remember, sometimes the worst night of your life is actually the beginning of everything. Sometimes strangers become family. Sometimes love looks like a dangerous man handing you his coat and saying, "You deserve someone who stays." And sometimes, you're brave enough to believe him.